Hello. Right, I'm filming this on my phone and very annoyingly it's flickering. I think because of the lights, it's just not the same as using my camera. So I'm going to be doing contouring and highlighting video. I did film this video already and for some unknown reason it will not upload. It keeps crashing the computer. I have no idea why and it's really, really annoying. So lots of people asked me to do it, so I'm just going to do it on my phone and the quality is going to pants probably, and you're going to have to turn the volume up because you probably won't be able to hear me because I can't adjust the volume, and I won't be editing this video. I'll be uploading it straight away. So yeah, I'm really sorry for any mishaps that happen, but yeah, so I hope you can kind of see me relatively okay. Might have to adjust a few lights, a few bits and bobs here. It will, like I said, it's a bit better. It will flicker, I think, the screen just because the phone can't seem to cope with the lighting, but hey. Right, so I have started with a bare face. I'm not going to prime, not going to moisturise because I've been taking makeup off and on. So I'm just going to go right in, but you would want to prime if you're going to do this. So to begin with, so a contour and highlight can be done with powders or foundations or creams or liquids, and the way that I prefer to contour is with powders. I find that a much more subtle contour around the cheek and a bit down the nose is all you really need, but some people really like this kind of whole new Kim Kardashian contour. I don't like it. I don't think it looks very natural and very nice, but people want to see how you do it. So, and I do contour my nose. So basically all you need is a full coverage foundation, be it liquid or concealer, and I'll start that all over again. All you need is to do it with creams is a nice dark cream foundation. So you can get this, I saw some today at Sleek and they're really, really affordable, just I think something like £4, or you can get a contouring kit. I like to contour with concealer because concealer is essentially a full coverage foundation, and you don't want to go over your contour with foundation because you're just going to cover the contour, although you can use foundation underneath just to cover any imperfections and to smooth over the skin if you wish. But personally I just don't feel that that's kind of, it can make the skin feel quite heavy. So first of all, I'm going to go in with my cream, and this is by Le Maquillage and it's the Fard cream. I tend to use this a lot on clients. I don't really use it on myself, and I tend to use it on kind of editorial and photography because it isn't waterproof. They say it's waterproof if you put powder on it, but I've not noticed that to be the case. Yeah, so, and also these shades can be used, they're really nice as salmon concealers. So I'm going to dip the end of this kind of flat brush in, and I'm just going to go straight in and just contour down my cheekbone. And they also do, Le Maquillage do like concealer, little concealer palettes and lip palettes and stuff, so it's worth checking them out. And there we go, run that down. And a lot of people go under the chin as well, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to use a powder. And slightly, I'm only going to go ever so slightly. Oh no, who's messaging me on my phone? Go away. I'm going to go very slightly on the forehead. I have, I'm just going to take some of that off actually, because I've gone a bit heavy. I have to go really lightly because I have a very dark tanned forehead, and I also have quite good skin up here, so I don't like to put too much product up there. It's kind of already sun-kissed where I want it to be. Now the next thing I'm going to do is contour my nose. Now my nose, as you can see, is very, I think it's humongous. I hate my nose. It's kind of looks really bent and crooked at different angles. It appears bent because it's very bulbous, so it looks like it's wonky, but it's not. So I'm gonna basically take this fine brush and I'm going to contour down my nose. And the best colour to use, I think, with this, I like to use a powder, I don't have it on me at the moment actually, is MAC, oh what is it, Walnut Whip, something like that, MAC Walnut. It's basically a cream. I've got it in my kit, but it's like a kind of I don't even know if you can get it anymore. It's really, really old, but it's kind of like a grey, and it kind of shadows really, really nicely. And I like to use that on a lot of people too, but I can't get. I don't think you can get it anymore. I'm sure it's called I'll put the link in the description bar of what it looks like, but I don't. And if anyone can find it for me, then please do and send it to me because I really need some. But it's completely running out. I bought it years ago. But anything kind of like that, like grey, kind of grey undertones, very kind of flats is what you need. So that's how I've done my nose. So the next thing I'm going to do, where is my, right, I was going to use this anti-AI rays, which is what I used yesterday. But I plan to use Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. Where did it go? There it went. Right, but instead of this, today I'm going to do it a bit differently. I'm going to use Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. Now, this is my all-time favourite top concealer. It's like the world's best concealer in my eyes. I love it. It's so creamy and buttery. And for years, I use this as a foundation. And if I'm going somewhere quickly, or if I need to get ready in a rush, or if I'm going travelling and I can't take much, I'll take this and use it as a foundation. So I am going to use this. Otherwise, you could use like a foundation, a cream foundation. I tend to do a lot of contouring like this with MAC Full Coverage because it is essentially a foundation. So all you need is a good concealer, because a concealer is just a full coverage foundation. Have I said that about 1,000 times? I have, haven't I? I'm so sorry. Oh, I hate that I can't edit this. I'm just going to hear me chatting about rubbish anyway. So you're just going to take this right down. The inside of my eye I'm going to conceal with something slightly different. And then you want to basically do this in all the areas that you haven't around the nose. Having this conversation before about whether you should use concealer underneath or over. And there's a big difference. This is what one thing we were taught at makeup school, was a big difference between concealing and uplifting your dark circles and concealing blemishes. If you're concealing like blemishes and things like that, it's really, really advised to do it underneath. Do that first, and then push that in, and then leave it, and then put your foundation on top, and then go on top with a concealer or a highlighter underneath the eye. Unless, of course, you're colour correcting, which is a little bit different. But yeah, it was a bit of a debate going on. There's no rules to makeup as well. Remember that. Just do what works for you. I mean, you know, I use full cover concealer. I use Pro Longwear concealer on a lot of clients as their foundation. I've even used it through an air gun, and probably that is like against the rules, but it works amazing. Like, skin's always really flawless when I've done it. I've always had like the best results doing it that way. So just do what's right for you. So I'm just going to run a little bit of this. I'm running out. I'm running out of Maybelline Fit Me. I'll run a bit down the centre of my nose too. Right. So we're going to blend it out now. Oh no, first thing I'm going to do, where did it go? I'm losing all my products. They seem to kind of be vanishing and disappearing. Oh, right. Well, I was going to use MAC Studio Tech Concealer. Where did it? There it went. I'm still here, folks. I'm still here. I'm going to use this MAC Studio Finish Concealer. And this is the same as MAC Full Coverage, but it is SPF 15. Sorry, SPF 35. I'm going to take a little bit on a paddle brush, and I'm going to go right into the centre of my eye just to brighten that up slightly. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to take my, first I'm going to take my stippling brush. This is like a thin little stippling brush. I'm going to blend out that contour on that side. And the same on this side. It's probably a little bit alter that slightly because we've got a bit OTT on the contour. There we go. These I'm only going to really slightly do. So if you blend them out too much, you're just going to cover them. And then again at the top of the head. Right, next I'm going to take my flat-topped kabuki buffing brush, and I'm just going to buff and push this right into the skin. And for the inner eye, I'm just going to take a pointed one. Lots of people have been asking about the direction of my channel. My channel is, I'd say, very much mothering and lifestyle, but also beauty, because beauty and makeup is how I started YouTube in the first place. But fear not, I am starting to film. I've just started to film a TTC, trying to conceive series. So a lot of people have been asking me about when that's been coming up, because I did mention it a while ago. I'm not trying to conceive, but I've learned quite a lot about trying to conceive, because I've been having to correct my hormones to try and help my skin. My skin was really bad, and in that time I learned a lot about it, and I wanted to do one before, but by that point I had already conceived Sebastian, so was unable to. It wouldn't, you know, just wouldn't, it was a bit weird. So I'm going to be doing that. So yes, there's still going to be lots of pregnancy related things as well. And I haven't done much about cloth nappies, because like Sebastian, we haven't really bought any. We just use the cheapies all the time, and so it's a bit different when you're going through the motion of trying out new nappies when they're really little. When they're Seb's age, they kind of get a bit boring. Right, so I've pushed all that in, and as you can see, it just looks absolutely beautiful. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a set powder, and this is MAC set powder in soft yellow. I think it's a pro product, so just check when you go on MAC if you do choose to use this one, but any powder will do. And I'm going to use my beauty blender for this. This isn't a damp beauty blender, it's a dry one. And I'm going to push this into the skin. And you can use a beauty blender to blend out your products, to blend out your cream as well. But I don't tend to use beauty blenders. I don't really like them. I don't get on with them very well. I find this motion really exhausting. The blending motion, I find it really exhausting. And also, they are only really good for creams. They were only designed for creams. They weren't actually designed for liquids. And as much as they do make liquids look lovely, they absorb 60% of the product. So you lose so much of your foundation sucked into the sponge. There's nothing, even if you damp it, like everyone's like, oh, you damp it, otherwise it will still absorb a lot. So, okay, there we go. And then you just leave it like that and you go out and do your day. Only kidding. I'm going to take this brush. I'm going to dust. You could leave that to like bake, but I don't know, that whole cooking, baking thing is just like, I don't know. It's not for me. I haven't got time. Look, this is like takes too long for me. I would never have time to do this in the day. I have bad enough time just like getting myself washed. Okay, so now that your powder's set, I'm going to go in with a bronzer, and I'm taking my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and this is in medium dark. And I'm going to very lightly bronze my cheeks rather than the actual contour, just to give it a bit of sun-kissed kind of look. And underneath. And you want to do as well the top of your nose, because the sun hits the top of your nose as well as your temples, and it'll make it look kind of like quite natural and sun-kissed. Okay, next I will be going in with my highlight, and this is Lightscapade by MAC, and I'm going to take this brush here. You can, a good tip is to wet the brush as well, slightly spray it with something, and it will come out beautiful. I love this highlighter. Cupid's bow, down the nose, tops of the eye. And then I'm going to use this lovely blush by Sleek, which I bought today. And this is in Life's a Peach. And it's one of my favourite blushes. I've smashed it twice, never replaced it. So I hopefully won't smash this one. So just run that on the apples of your cheek. It's not actually coming out on this. It's quite annoying. It's not. My skin's really shiny around here. What's that all about? There we go. Okie doke. Oh, leave me alone. Everyone wants me. I'm so popular. I'm joking. Okay, so, I'm using this. Oh, I'm totally obsessed with MUA brand at the moment that you can get in Superdrug. This is the Whipped Velvet, and it's like, I'd say it's demi-matte, but it's kind of like the matte lipsticks that you get by the NYX ones that I love, that I always rave about. And I can't remember how much this was, but I'm pretty sure it's something like £3. It was like literally like nothing. And then I'm going to take again by MUA, which I love these because these I think are only a couple of pound, if that, like £1. This is in Brooding Plum, and it comes with a little sharpener. And I'm going to, seems a bit backwards this, I'm going to just line the lip and give it a kind of ombre kind of texture. There, I don't think I even did that right. And then last but not least, I'm going to put my glasses on because I can't see a damn thing. I can't see anything when I don't have my glasses on. Basically, this whole video I've not been able to see. So there you go. Looks very flawless, I think. That's how you contour and highlight with creams. Although I didn't really use a cream, I used a concealer. But you can do exactly the same thing with a cream. So, yeah, use whatever you want. Anastasia Beverly Hills is like the new all-the-rage contouring palette, but you totally don't need an expensive contouring palette. Just go to Sleek and get yourself the a shade of foundation in the cream to powder foundation in your shade and the dark one, and that'll do. Or just get the dark one and then use a concealer as you want. MAC full coverage, you may have to phone up MAC to get them because they are a pro product, but you can use those. You could even perhaps go and get a studio finish concealer and use that as a, you know, there's all sorts of ways you can do it, but yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.